Tesla just added some brand new features to all Tesla vehicles that we've been waiting years to finally see, and these features are really, really cool to finally see in our cars. But honestly, I think that there is way more work that Tesla needs to do. What are some must-have features, upgrades, and specs you'd want to see in the 2023 Tesla Model 3 and 2023 Model Y? So after reading a bunch of Reddit threads, Tesla forum threads, and reading your guys' comments, I've put together a list of 10-ish or so of the most hotly requested features and upgrades that Tesla needs to add to the Model 3 and Model Y. Some of these I think are, really simple to do, and Tesla actually just added some of these, which is really cool to see. But others have been in the rumor mill for years, and Tesla just needs to do it. Let's see if you guys agree with this list or not. Let me know down below what you'd love to see in the next big update to the Model 3 and Model Y. Also, a huge thanks to CHARGEOP for sponsoring this video. They're the makers of this super high quality, super custom charging mount that perfectly charges your AirPods right inside of your Tesla's built-in wireless charger. I've got way more to say about this, and I want to show you exactly how it works. We'll come back to that in a moment. Now, to make things perfectly clear from the get-go, I have no idea if we're going to see major refreshes to the Model 3 or Model Y in 2023. In fact, Tesla is sort of notorious for not doing the traditional model year thing like other car makers do, so I wouldn't be the least bit surprised if Tesla doesn't do an official 2023 upgrade. Though, with that being said, on the other hand, Tesla is also known for just dropping new features and updates randomly. We obviously get software updates all the time that add a bunch of new features to the car, which is really cool and can even change the entire look and feel for better or for worse. Looking at you, V11. And also, we saw back in 2020, they did like a major refresh out of nowhere that added the Chrome delete, the all-new center console, the refreshed interior. We got new processors. Lots of things have happened sporadically, so Tesla can just make some big moves and drop some big upgrades all at once. So if we're talking about new models and what we love to see, let's talk about some new hardware and software features that should definitely make their way to the Model 3 and Model Y, like right now. In a recent video, I talked about how the Model Y board has a clear second indicator for a second display to plug into this port, and we have no idea if this is going to be coming in a retrofit or how quickly this is going to be used, if ever, but generally speaking, a second screen on the Model 3 and Model Y makes so much sense, and there are a couple of different ways Tesla could sort of implement this that would make it really, really cool for these models. Obviously, one way Tesla could go is just to put a rear display in the back of the 3 and the Y for kids or passengers in the back so they can sort of watch YouTube videos, maybe they could play games. The screen in the back of the S and the X is really nice, though there is definitely some work Tesla could do, and Elon has even mentioned they are not only going to do more work with that second display, but also work on a way to isolate the sound just for the rear passengers, so the front passengers can listen to their own music or maybe watch their own content while in park, of course. And if Tesla's going to go through all that work, maybe it'd be cool to bring that tech to the 3 and Y. That would be really cool and would make a whole lot of sense. The other way Tesla could go, and honestly what I'd love to see, is some kind of second display that's really similar to what we've got in the S and the X that basically shows you navigation, media controls, energy consumption, car stats right in sort of your line of sight without you having to sort of look down at the main screen. You can just sort of look right through the steering wheel, maybe if there's the yoke there, or sort of right under it to see that second display. Now, obviously, Tesla has to do some things to make the S and the X more premium and worth their higher price tag than the 3 and the Y. So maybe they make the screen smaller on the 3 and the Y. Maybe there's some other limitation. Maybe it only shows one thing at a time. Whatever the case may be, we've seen a lot of these third-party screens that look really cool, and I think that a second display on the 3 and the Y does make so much sense. Not sure if it's going to go in the front or the back, but hopefully this is something we see come way sooner than we're expecting. Next up, let's talk about comfort. And honestly, personally here, I think the seats in the Tesla are super comfortable. In the Model 3, Model Y, S, the X, I like the AC system. Like I said, the seats are comfortable, but one thing that's really missing is a ventilated option for the seats, especially as an owner here in Southern California. Summers can get very, very hot. Really, it's really mostly hot all year round, and the AC is nice, but nothing is going to cool my body as much as some ventilated seats would, which for some reason is only a premium feature on the S and the X, though I don't think, generally speaking, in the car market, a ventilated seat option is a premium thing. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think that ventilated seats make so much sense to see come to the Model 3 and Model Y. And it's a similar story here for the camera situation inside and outside of the Tesla as well. The tech inside of the Tesla is obviously amazing. There is no doubt in my mind that Teslas are some of the most high-tech, feature-packed, tech-packed cars on the road today. Tesla is leading the charge in terms of a super sleek interface. The infotainment system is amazing. Autopilot, full self-driving, all this stuff is great, but there are some ways the tech is sort of lacking and sort of falling behind, and a couple of little fixes here that would really make this tech so much better and so much better utilized. For example, a top-down 360 camera, bird's eye, point of view camera, whatever automakers are calling it these days. That type of camera would be really nice to have inside of your Tesla, especially when you're trying to park or parallel park or park into a tight parking space. Having that extra vantage point to be able to see all around the car is really nice. And while we're on the subject of cameras, two more updates that Tesla should definitely implement to fix some of the camera situations inside of the car. One, the auto blind spot camera is wonderful. Sort of when you turn the indicator left to right, you can see the corresponding camera. Love that feature. But Tesla, please move it from the bottom of the screen to the top of the screen, because I feel like I'm being a horrible driver by sort of looking down at the screen, taking my eyes off the road to see that little preview of the camera. Moving it to the top, even if it's sort of the top left of the screen, would be wonderful to see. And also, something I see over and over again requested, and something I think makes a lot of sense, is the ability to see the events captured by the Sentry mode cameras while you're out. So to clarify, Tesla did recently add the ability to view the cameras remotely live from within the Tesla app anywhere you are, as long as you pay for premium connectivity. That is super cool. But what I want to see is when the alarm goes off or Sentry mode is triggered, I want to get a preview of that on my phone. So for example, like a smart doorbell or a security system at your home or office, you can usually get like a little preview of 2 to 3 seconds of what motion was detected. If Tesla could do that, that would be perfect. And honestly, to be able to see a preview of that from my phone would be really, really nice to see. Now, before we continue with more of these must-have Tesla upgrades, one feature personally I'd love to see is some sort of easy way to charge my AirPods right on that built-in wireless charger inside of my Tesla. It's something I want to do all the time. I'm sure many of you guys want to do this as well, but luckily we don't have to wait for Tesla to do anything, because the perfect accessory and the perfect solution already exists, and it is made by this video's sponsor, CHARGEOP. There is just no easy way to align your AirPods on the built-in wireless charger inside of your Tesla without jumping through a bunch of hoops or hacking something together, but you don't have to do any of that anymore. That is over now, because there is now this custom mount, custom designed for your Tesla to automatically charge your AirPods right on that built-in wireless charger without you really having to do anything. Drop it on the wireless charger, just drop your AirPods into this new custom mount. That's it, you're done, and your AirPods are gonna get juiced up and ready for you to use when you get to your destination. And personally, something I really appreciate here is that this mount from CHARGEOP is built really well. It's got a nice weight to it. It's not gonna sort of slip or slide around the wireless charger. It's gonna be aligned, and it's not gonna get misaligned and bump around as you drive. It's gonna work on either side of the built-in wireless charging pad, and it's gonna work with any AirPods that support wireless charging. And this one I'm showing off here perfectly fits the refreshed interior of the Model 3 and Model Y, but I also really love that there is a version that also gives you this full power and all the benefits here in the older pre-refreshed Teslas. So if you do have an older Tesla, you're not out of luck, because CHARGEOP has got a perfect solution for you as well. And both of these are priced really well, making them like instant buys on Amazon, and with just a couple of clicks, you can finally easily charge your AirPods wirelessly right inside of your Tesla. So if you're looking for the perfect way to wirelessly charge your AirPods inside of your Tesla, this is it. This is the perfect solution. This mount from CHARGEOP is super sleek, it's super simple to use, and is just gonna allow you to easily charge your AirPods right inside of the built-in wireless charger that is already in your Tesla. I love it, and you guys will love it as well. So if you want to learn more, check it out and pick one up for yourself today and really upgrade your Tesla with this awesome CHARGEOP custom mount. Hit the link right down below to learn more and pick one up for yourself today. Next up, let's talk about some other tech upgrades that Tesla should make to their vehicles. And I don't necessarily agree with all of these myself, but they were a common theme in a lot of these sort of forum posts and Reddit threads. So obviously we should probably discuss them. One is upgrading the screen in the 3 and the Y to tilt like it does on the S and the X. And I've heard varying degrees of how useful this actually is from S and X owners. And again, maybe this is more of a premium feature, but a lot of people would like that tilting mechanism to be built in. Speaking of the S and the X, a lot of people would love the bigger display of those vehicles in the 3 and the Y as well. Again, Tesla is doing things to make those cars justify their higher price tag, but if you could bump up from the 15-inch display to a 17-inch display or even bigger, I know a lot of owners would love that and might even be worth paying more money to get that larger display in their Tesla. Do you guys think that Tesla should offer a bigger screen than the 3 and the Y, maybe even the same screen as the S and the X? Let me know down below if you think that's useful or not. I think it'd be cool to see. And also, one of the things that bigger screen would benefit is sort of the new refreshed UI. Now, to be clear, both models, the 3 and the Y and the S and the X, both tiers of Teslas are running off of the same version 11 software stack, but on the S and the X with that larger display, owners are able to sort of move different elements around into sort of different snap points and windows. So you can sort of move around the map, you can move around media controls. It's this really cool, sleek interface that exists on the higher end cars, but does not exist on the 3 and the Y. And I don't think that this is a hardware limitation because you could do this on a smaller display and those cars also have the Ryzen processor, but it must be software locked. So maybe if Tesla could unlock this part of the software and allow us to move elements around on the screen, that'd be super cool. Or if the smaller screen is an issue, bring the bigger screen to the 3 and the Y. Again, I think a lot of people would pay to have that bigger display and that bigger interface. So I'd love to see that as an option. Not sure if it's ever going to happen, but hey, at least we can dream about it and hope and pray that maybe one day it comes to our cars. And speaking of screen, something else I saw over and over again pop up in different Reddit threads and forum posts is users wanting the ability to put their own content on the Tesla display, because Teslas have great, beautiful, gorgeous screens. I mean, the screens on there are really good. The sound system is obviously amazing. And a lot of people would love to sort of wirelessly take content from their phone or their computer or their tablet and beam it onto the Tesla display. And there's a couple of ways Tesla could do this. Obviously, the most popular offering, and something that shouldn't be that difficult in theory, is for Tesla to add support for Apple AirPlay or Google Chromecast support. So basically, you can just beam stuff from your Android or iOS device right to the screen inside of your car. Now, one sort of controversial feature that some of you guys will love and some of you will hate is for Tesla to better utilize that in-cabin camera to use some facial recognition technology to better understand who's in the driver's seat and adjust accordingly. And I know this is certainly not on everybody's comfort level, but I did see it brought up, and I do think it's interesting that Tesla could use the cabin camera that is already built into the car to better sort of put it to work and put the system to work to automatically recognize who's driving and sort of set things accordingly. And I know that there are priority devices, and the idea is that you're able to sort of see your phone near the driver's side, and the Tesla's supposed to sort of recognize that automatically, and it never has really worked for me. I'm not sure if it's just a generally buggy thing, but the idea of being able to sit down for the Tesla to sort of recognize me as long as I opt in, and then it sort of adjusts things accordingly would be really nice, because we're almost there. We have individual profiles for different people, we have the priority devices, it just doesn't seem to work. But if you could sort of opt in and allow the in-cabin camera to sort of monitor and see who's in the driver's seat and to do like a sort of a quick Face ID thing, a quick scan of who it is, and then auto adjust that profile, that'd be super cool. Again, not for everybody, but I think I'd be in for that, and certainly I'd try it, and that might be kind of cool and make things just a little bit easier inside of your car. Another feature that might be kind of cool to see inside of Tesla is it's also sort of in the Elon ecosystem is built-in Starlink inside of Teslas. Now, Teslas already have an LTE modem built in, and that really works well for sort of streaming music and maps and stuff like that. But there are two other ways that Tesla could sort of make this better. One is to sort of upgrade the LTE modem to a 5G modem, because we have a lot of 5G devices these days. They allow for more data to pass through. Faster data is obviously a great thing. And having 5G built into your Tesla could allow for better, one day, car-to-car communication, or at least right now, maybe higher fidelity audio streaming, faster speeds for streaming content from Tesla Theater, like YouTube and Hulu and stuff like that, for example, Netflix, being able to maybe watch like 4K content HDR and maybe somehow have better fidelity video in there as well would be cool, or the ability to sort of download updates over 5G would be cool. I know that sometimes Tesla does LTE updates, but it's more rare than common, but having 5G would allow you to sort of instantly download these updates anywhere. That'd be super cool to see as well. So built-in 5G would be nice. And then maybe for those times that you are taking your car in camp mode or off the beaten path, you could have like built-in Starlink RV that maybe you don't use it all the time, but when needed, or maybe it's an option, you could sort of turn on Starlink built right into your Tesla and then have internet connectivity anywhere you go. So maybe you're camping for the weekend, maybe you're just in a remote rural area and you want to have better signal. Built-in Starlink would be really cool to see. And maybe also Tesla could sort of turn the car's built-in Wi-Fi network in reverse, so you could sort of use the data of your car to power other devices. So maybe if you're camping, you could sort of turn on Starlink inside of your Tesla, and then your Tesla can be the Wi-Fi hotspot for your laptop and your phone and all your other devices, so everyone can get online. Again, this is a little bit of a stretch, but we are talking about Tesla and the Elon ecosystem, and we're just talking about features we'd love to see. There's a little bit more out there that I do think would be really, really cool one day to hopefully come to all Teslas. All right, guys, now I'm curious, what are your features, upgrades? What's on your list that you think Tesla should add? What are some of the best software features and updates Tesla should add to their cars? What pieces of hardware would you love to see? Do you want to see ventilated seats? Would you love to see an extra screen, an upgrade of the sound system? Let me know what you would love to see in new refreshed models, and we can discuss all down below. As always, thank you guys so much for watching these videos. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. I'm Robert Rosenfeld, and I'll see you all in the next one.